Multiple women say this morning that Donald Trump made unwanted advances towards them. They claim he groped them, kissed them, or made them physically uncomfortable. Trump has denied all the allegations. CBS News has not confirmed any of their claims.
A People magazine reporter who interviewed Donald Trump back in 2005 writes this: "We walked into that room alone, and Trump shut the door behind us. I turned around, and within seconds, he was pushing me against the wall and forcing his tongue down my throat." We spoke earlier with the New York Times reporters who published accounts from two other women. One woman told the Times that Trump, sitting next to her on a plane, lifted the armrest and began to touch her.
The accuser spoke out after a 2005 video showed Trump making sexually aggressive comments about women. The women in the New York Times article support Hillary Clinton. They say they were angered during Sunday's debate when Trump denied touching anyone.
Are you saying that what you said on that bus 11 years ago, that you did not actually kiss women without consent or grope women without consent?
I have great respect for women. Nobody has more respect for women than I do.
So for the record, you're saying you never did that?
I said things that, frankly, you hear these things are said, and I was embarrassed by it, but I have tremendous respect for women.
Have you ever done those things?
Women have respect for me, and I will tell you, no, I have not.
The Times got Trump's reaction before the article was published. Quote, "None of this ever took place," said Mr. Trump, who began shouting at the reporter who was questioning him. "You are a disgusting human being," he said. "We asked the Trump Organization to provide someone to talk to us, but it was unable to do so."
Trump's lawyer sent a demand for a retraction to the New York Times last night. The lawyer said the article is reckless, defamatory, and constitutes libel. And the attorney called the timing, quote, "nothing more than a politically motivated attempt to defeat Mr. Trump's candidacy." There are also reports that Donald Trump is thinking of suing the paper now. CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman is with us and joins us at the table to discuss. All right, Rikki, where do we begin? If he sues, he could sue on what grounds? And doesn't it open him up to all sorts of other things?
Well, let's start with the lawsuit in and of itself. This would be a lawsuit for libel. It's print. He is saying that it has defamed him, that is, cast him in a light that is unfavorable. Obviously, a sexual assault or an unwanted groping or kissing would do that. However, he is a public figure. And the New York Times knows well, because the seminal case that every law student has ever heard about is called New York Times versus Sullivan. And what we learn in that case, and it teaches us in the media also about the law, is that if you are a public figure, the standard is higher for a newspaper in that it is reckless disregard for the truth. It's what we call actual malice. And actual malice doesn't mean hatred. It just means that you acted recklessly, or the Times would have acted recklessly in its publication. So you had the reporters on in the last hour. It seemed to me, from listening to them and also from knowing a news organization, whether it would be a New York Times, a Washington Post, a Wall Street Journal, or CBS News, we have lawyers. We have lawyers which vet things. You just don't throw something into print or put something on the air without vetting it. Your Times reporters noted that these stories did occur originally contemporaneously, that there were other people who had heard them.
Donald Trump has threatened to sue the New York Times in the past. Just recently, when they published part of his tax summaries, apparently up to this date, he's not sued them. He's not sued them yet on this particular article. If he were to sue them, what would the discovery process look like?
Well, this is the question that you and Gail both want answered, and Charlie does too. Anyone who files a lawsuit for defamation in a case like this involving allegations of sexual misconduct is asking for trouble. This is when we say be careful what you wish for. In the discovery process, he has said, I didn't do these particular things. He said to Anderson Cooper, I never kissed a woman against her will or groped a woman against her will. Well, in discovery, we can find out all the things he might have done and with whom he might have done it. Not only in a deposition to him, but also then in looking and casting about for other women. This would be a nightmare.
So if you were Donald Trump's lawyer, you'd say, look, we can send this letter threatening and saying withdraw it, but what? What would your counsel be to Mr. Trump?
Well, my counsel would be that he could demand the retraction, which he's already done with the letter, because it is too late to catch that train. It's gone. But I would not tell him to sue, because I do think that opening up your entire past, we're talking about the word never. Yeah. I have never done this. So the discovery process, I think, would be horrendous for him. And if we think some people came out of nowhere, just wait if there were a lawsuit.
Can you sue the people that are cited in the story?
Yes, you can. And he may want to threaten to do that, or in fact to do that, for the idea that it may deter others from coming forward.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Nice.